It's still hustle and bustle in many parts of West Texas, even with oil at $45 a barrel. But oil industry personnel say out on site, it's just a little bit different. Right now, family members we've spoken to all say pretty much the same thing. They're in grieving. They're trying to just spend time together. Tatum, the sheriff says that he can't show us the documents because the investigation is ongoing, but he says that they do have the proof to say that the inmate was treated properly. In a number of residences, they've even built these sheds. Take a look inside. It's where the water pump is and the filters are housed. So far, it's been a pretty crazy evening. It started off, it wasn't bad. It was just some dust, just some light wind. Then over the next couple of hours, the water came in, the wind came in, the lightning came down terribly. But the worst part of it all was the hail. When the hail came down, a number of people had to stop and actually turn around. Actually, behind me, this is where the scene happened. And if you take a look over off to the left, you see the bus was pulled off and is now at a service road. They've been working for about an hour to get it out there. Now, here are the nuts and bolts. Law enforcement said that around 7:30 this morning, a Texas Department of Criminal Justice bus was traveling from Abilene to El Paso with 15 people when the driver hit a patch of ice. But it has switched between a light sprinkle and heavy rain. It does it very quickly, so make sure to keep that in mind, especially when you're driving. Take a look at the water down here. It's about a little above my ankle, and this is just in the parking lot. The owner of Bee Busters right now is working on a colony underneath a mobile home. Even with oil closing in the 40s, Cargyle says that the industry doesn't stop. It just slows down. Odessa police say this is where the drunk driver hopped the curb and slammed into this house. Now take a look. You can see a chipped piece of concrete where the family says the car drove over towards the house. Now, once it actually made it over at the house, they have a metal guardrail going around here. You can see it's hard, but it was smashed all the way into the living room. Now come take a look at this couch. Family members say that this was in the center of the living room, and usually there's someone sleeping on it every night. Residents, investigators, and officials in Pecos County say they're fed up with illegal dumping. Whether it's corroded barrels, glass bottles, a pile of old leftover tires, or an oil spill, they say it's time to take action. Jay Tatum, we spoke to Susan, who lives here, and she says that police told her they believe it was a firecracker that actually broke this mailbox and exploded the inside. Now take a look. We're going to take this napkin. You can still see the residue that comes off that was left over by the firecracker. Here in Monahans, all throughout the day, there's been a lot of flooding. We are just around the corner from Highway 18, and take a look. I'm standing in the road right now with new apps popping up on your phone and new websites constantly coming up on the computer. Predators can now reach you more easily from the comfort of your own home. Take a look at this fire truck. It holds 1,000 gallons of water. That's 10,000 of these fire trucks completely gone. A drill bit is a tool that's used to cut through or crush rock when drilling a well. Oil experts we've spoken to say that they can be rented for tens of thousands of dollars. Jay, right now details are limited, but what we do know is that detectives have been on scene all afternoon. They got called out to the 2600 block of Madeira because of an unconscious 4-month-old baby. Now, we have confirmed that the child has died. After this explosion, loved ones should feel relieved. Sheriffs on site say they're shocked that only 2 walked away with minor injuries.
Big vibration and the smoke, it was way up there. I mean, way up there.
Miles away, oil field workers could hear, see,
I'm in a 1-ton truck and it shook it.
And feel the gas explosion at the Ramsey Natural Gas Processing Plant north of Orla, operated by Anadarko.
Well, it's a terrible thing. It's in the oil industry.
Terrible, but the hundreds evacuated from the scene have much to be thankful for.
We're so glad that nobody got hurt. I mean, I heard there were some minor injuries. On something like this, that's great, because they could have easily had some casualties.
Anadarko says in a statement that all 200 workers on site were accounted for and all gas lines have been isolated. More than 5 different law enforcement agencies worked together from Texas and New Mexico to put the fire out.
That involved fire, and we have some combustibles, it's a hazardous material scene.
And luckily, we worked together good with New Mexico, and luckily they were here since they're closer.
Reeves County Sheriff Art Granado says that OSHA, as well as Anadarko and local law enforcement, will be investigating to try to find out how the fire started. Anadarko says that they're so thankful for how law enforcement responded and took care of their employees, and they said that the fire is completely contained. Reporting live in Reeves County, Sarah Strackhouse, CBS 7 News. This is the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol housing complex. Many in the community say they came here this year to get their candy and didn't expect to see what they did. Costumes, scares, and most importantly, candy. They're concepts that go with Halloween, but this year, Presidio residents have something else to associate with the holiday.
I just think it's racist.
I don't know. I don't have anything to say. It bothers me.
Adeline says she was trick-or-treating with her daughter and saw this sign posted at the housing complex on her way out. It reads, "Only American families will receive candy." And Adeline says the person at the door was dressed as Uncle Sam. Some social media reports say the man responsible may have been dressed as Donald Trump. Joke or not, parents say the message didn't seem right at a Border Patrol housing facility in a town where it's common for Mexican children to cross the border to trick-or-treat.
You know, a lot of kids do come over from the other side for free candy and stuff like that. It's just part of the way we grew up. I think if it was a joke, it would have been highlighted as a joke, but it really didn't seem like it.
While the sign may be taken down now, it's already sparked anger amongst many in the community, and they say they want to see some sort of action taken.
It makes you think how is he going to treat people that he gets in the border?
Am I supposed to take a passport to get free candy?
We asked U.S. Customs and Border Protection if there were going to be any repercussions for whoever posted the sign. They and the Big Bend sector released a statement saying they regret an employee chose to post the sign in question at his residence during Halloween. The sign does not reflect the opinion of this agency. We respect all people regardless of their culture, nationality, or country of origin. We apologize for any harm this incident may have created in our relationship with the community. No word yet on any action taken on the employee. In Presidio, Sarah Strackhouse, CBS 7 News. And Houston Rockets point guard Patrick Beverly had quite the busy Wednesday. That evening, the basketball players suited up for the Rockets game against the Brooklyn Nets. And an Odessa man is in critical condition after a motorcycle crash this morning. Odessa police say around 1 a.m., 40-year-old Casey Dickman was traveling east on I-20. Greg, thanks so much. Odessa police are investigating a double stabbing that happened at two different houses in West Odessa. Well, thanks so much. The wife of presidential candidate Ted Cruz, Heidi Cruz, visited UTPB today to speak about her husband and his candidacy for presidency. Connecticut state officials have released video showing young kids being forcefully taken down inside two of the state's juvenile detention centers. Two Midland moms have been arrested for injury to a child. Midland County Sheriff Gary Painter says that 21-year-old Erica Tarango. And today a ceremony was held in remembrance of 22-year-old Zach Landry, who died in a car crash earlier this month. Checking in on your roadways, let's start off in Manhattan. If you take a look here on the West Side Highway, there's a couple pockets of volume, nothing to write home about. On the FDR Drive, you are clear from end to end.